Hey guys, how's it going? It's Thomas here with Catfish DIY. In this update, I want to explain to you what I'm going to be running in my sump tank for the 135 build from the ground up. With this episode, I want to explain to you what I'm using in it, why I'm using it, and what are the benefits of it. Most of what I'm doing in this sump is to grow the beneficial bacteria and to use it to help in the nitrogen cycle of the tank. A lot of it is DIY. A lot of it is very inexpensive to buy. First off, what I want to go with is on my mechanical filtration. What I'm going to start off with, when the water first comes into the tank, it's going to meet. A lot of people use a filter pad. People use pinky floss, blue mats. I am using polyfill and polyfill pad. Polyfill, as in the big puffy stuff, that's going to be sitting on top of this poly pad, which will span out against the bottom part of the first part of the mechanical filtration. This will be the second area of poly pad it has to filter through to take out the small, minute particles. And as it passes through the polyfill batting, it'll pass through this, filtering out a lot more of the small debris matters that float through. And then once it gets through there, it's going to run into two chambers of pot scrubbies. In my 20-gallon sump I have over here running, I have Aqua Clear 110 sponges, which is the same. It gives a great amount of surface area for beneficial bacteria to grow on. These themselves have an enormous amount of surface area for the beneficial bacteria to grow on. And they're going to be stacked in the sump, just like this, all the way across. 3 chambers, or 2 chambers full. That's going to get filtered through. And once it filters through the second chamber of these pot scrubbies, it'll come into another 2 chambers of, yeah, you guessed it, lava rock. Now, lava rock you can get, I think, 5 or 8 pound bag for like $6-7. This tank's probably going to require at least probably 3 bags, because it's going through, it's coming down through, it's coming through the pot scrubbies, over the baffle, and down through the lava rock, all the way back up. 2 chambers of lava rock. There's my substitute for the stones. This is my bio media. This is going to also harbor a lot of beneficial bacteria. This will also be in the sump. And I'll tell you what, 5 pounds of this versus the, what is it, $12-15 at your local pet store for biostones, biomedia, right here. This is the cheapest, and it's worked. It's been in the hobby for many years. I got the idea from Joey, from the King of DIY. You know, man, if he's using it, if he's used it, and if it's, do your research, look it up, look up in the fish forums, lava rock. Can't go wrong with lava rock. It's unearthed, so you know what it is, and it's perfect. So the only thing I suggest is if it's big, like this, and you're looking to put it in your filters for the substitution of bio ring, take a hammer and just hit it, break it in half, make it smaller. Like pieces like this, I'm throwing pieces like this into that sump whole. not my 20-gallon sump I built over here. I used lava rock as well, but I broke it up because it was a smaller chamber with a plate. Now this is going to go through 2 chambers, so I'm going to leave it as is. Great, tremendous amount of surface area. Pores. I'm looking through it right now. I can see the screen through the many various pores of this lava rock. Great stuff, cheap. And then we're gonna run through sponges. I tell you what, never in my life I ever thought sponges would work. I've got a lot of my information, a lot of my design builds from King of DIY Joey, and the sponges. I did a lot of research, listened to, I think it's Corey McElroy from Aquarium Co-op, talking about sponges and surface area on sponges, and he did a live chat or something like that about sponges and how to supercharge your filters. Instead of using carbon, just use sponge. I mean, this here, you're never going to throw away. You're going to throw it away eventually when it breaks down, but that's many years from now. I used to run carbon in all my filters. The tank, my 55-gallon tank, just to the left of me, this way. It has 2 hang on the back, Aquarion 75 and a what is it? A Marine Land BioL 350. Yeah, a great one that Corey does not like at all. But it requires sponges. It doesn't require sponges. It has its own, inserts you put in. I just pull all that out. I run sponge. This is a cut off of a Aqua Clear 110 sponge. You cut that in half, you have 2 sponges that will fit right in there in that filter, which has no carbon in it whatsoever. Carbon just removes the smell and the tannins in medication. It's not virtually necessary, but if you want it, you want it. Some people use carbon, some people don't. Some people use Purigen. This is a substitute for carbon, and it specifies that you should throw it away after 3 months or 6 months. You don't have to do all that. Just look it up how to recharge Purigen. 2 parts bleach, 1 part water. Let it soak. It'll turn back to white. You take it out, you rinse it, you sit it in a bucket of dechlorinator for a day or so. Take it out, good to go. Put it back in. Always reusable. That's also being the sump as well, but I'll be on the far side of the return. Get back to my 55. The only thing it's got in it is sponges and pot scrubbies. It's got sponges on one overflow, on one hang on the back, and it's got pot scrubbies in the other. And that tank's been running since November of last year with not an issue at all. Water qualities or my nitrates are almost 30 parts per million. It's not bad. It's not good. I mean, it's decent, but it's not the greatest. It's not where I want it to be. But that's all it's got in it, and I've not had a single problem. Not at all. No fishy smell, no aquarium smells. But to get back on the sponges, Corey from Aquarium Co-op, watched a video of sponges, how to supercharge your hang on the back filter, how to supercharge any filter. This is just a cutoff piece, but he sells these with the hole cut out on one end and not all the way through. He sells these, but this is an old turtle sponge that I used on 2 of my tanks to keep the fry from being sucked in. But these here work tremendously as a pre-filter, to supercharge your filter, to, it collects the beneficial bacteria. It's the workhorse is the beneficial bacteria, and the sponges to weed out all the debris, the poop, the detritus, the stuff that you stir up in the tank, the food. You want to clean these out on a weekly basis. If you have a hang on the back, clean them out weekly, bi-weekly, however you clean them out. I clean mine every week. I just get a little bit of tank water, I pull the sponge, I rinse it out, and that bucket of tank water, I'll go through every one. I'll have another bucket of tank water that's clear. Once I rinse this out the first time, it goes into the other bucket, rinses it out again, and it goes back into the tank. All my water qualities are good. I have no parasites. I have no bacterial blooms. This is how I'm able to do that and not, transfer different illnesses, anything into my tanks. Know your water qualities and your fish. Any fish that comes into my tanks, first thing they do is hit a 10-gallon quarantine tank for 10 days. Within that 10 days, they are treated for ick. They are treated for parasites. And then after the treatments are done, they get a 50% water change. They are fed daily. They are monitored until I see no active problems. So once that's done, they are put in a container. They're transferred to the tank that they're going, where they're acclimated for at least 15 minutes. And then they're transferred into that tank. But sponges, they'll be in the tank, in the build. Pot scrubbies, you can get 6 for $1. They're cheap. They last a lifetime. Lava rock, another alternative. It is also cheap, not bad. For beneficial bacteria, you'll get a lot more for what you're paying for a bag of lava rocks than it would be if you were buying a bag of stone for beneficial bacteria. Everybody has their preferences, everybody has their reasons. Do your research. I've looked it up. I was one of these people that I gotta have the stones, I gotta have carbon. You don't need all that. If you want to use that, you can use that. That's your opinion. These and everything I've showed you in this video is what I've been using for the past year and a half. All my tanks have sponges and lava rock in them. When I got the new filters for Christmas, the first thing I went out and got sponges, not pot scrubbies, but sponges. Two trays of lava rock and seeded media that's in my 2 canisters on my way 75 upstairs. The only one tank that has carbon in it is my convict cichlid tank, which is where I pull most of my fry from, because the little horny guys, they're always mating. But that's on another topic for today. But I just wanted to share with you guys what I was using in the tank build. Also, there's still more media that goes into this tank, but it'll be a different video, and I'll remember to combine all of them together to let you guys see the finished product of what's going into the sump. You work, you do schoolwork, you have kids, a lot of things take a backseat precedence. Unfortunately, I don't see this tank being up anytime soon until December. I still have to water test it. I'll go through that, what you look for, how all that good stuff. I just want to record this as a series of what I went through to get this tank set up, and just to show you how long it can take a guy that's building from the ground up, how long it actually takes to build one of these. I've watched videos where I've seen guys finally set up their big 180s, 240s. After they build a stand, they build a canopy, they custom order to somewhere, they build a sump. I seen one guy, he spent like almost 9 months looking at this tank sitting in his living room empty. So I can understand that. You're like a kid on Christmas. Once you're able to fill that thing up, you're like, holy, and then you just gotta wait. And that's the part where it's like, okay, I'm almost at the finish line here. All I gotta do is buy the first 2 fish. So, other than that, I just wanted to express to you guys what I was using, explain to you why I was using it, sharing information where I got it from. Joey from DIY, Corey from Aquarium Co-op. KG Tropicals. I watch a lot of them guys. Inquisitive Fish Guy. I watch a lot of his videos and use a lot of his ideas or to try to help. These people are doing this to help people like us that have suffer from multiple tank syndrome, that love fish. So, but it's not just a fish; it's a pet. So it's like you do what you do for your pets. So, with that being said, I'll come at you guys with another update on the video, and this was just one part of the media that goes into my 40-gallon sump for the 135 build. Until that time, you guys take care. God bless all you people, and just remember, I'm still in line from Dustin. Tank on, people.